Yo, what's good, what's good? This is Warlock with OSXTV in the motherfucking house.
Niggas is some lamesters, talking like you famous. I'm eating through the angers, I'm gripping on them bangers. This bitch, I'm finna swanger, the chopper finna slang.
Start off, what's your name and where you from?
Name is Warlock, repping South Miami, Dade County, in the motherfucking house. And yeah, that's what it is. Chico Mob in this bitch.
Chico Mob, is that the music group you're a part of?
Yeah, it's the new music collective. It's a bunch of Chicos, about 5 different artists from different areas of Miami that basically came together, you know, like the best of the best that have been doing it for a long time in the industry. Just got together, underground cats, all Chicos, and we're just fucking tearing down the fucking doors, trying to fucking get it in. Started about last year. We end up getting together. We end up getting together shooting this music video. We did this song where I basically wanted like a posse song. So I wanted a bunch of cats from Miami just get together and just do their thing, and you know, everybody with their different styles, and just put something together that people from our area and hood is gonna fuck with. Yeah, something that they're gonna listen to. So basically I got everyone together. You know, there was a couple cats that we put on there, and you know, like we had to move some shit around, but finally we got it right. So now we got the right artists all together, you know. So for the most part, it's Chico Mob up in this shit.
How was it working with a group? Working with a group or being solo?
I like being solo, but I've been working so many years in the industry that, you know, sometimes doing the solo thing is cool, but sometimes it's cool to get with a really dope collective, yeah, like-minded people and people that think the same way, and you know, try to make something bigger. You know what I mean? Like, I think we could end up making more noise together than just by ourselves. You know what I mean? Usually it's much harder, but we all have a name for ourselves in you know, in the area. So we just basically just got together and we're just repping it.
Yeah. When did you start making music?
I started making music in '97 in high school, 14 years old, just writing, listening to Wu-Tang, Bone Thugs, 3 6, UGK, just listening to the old school cats and shit, and you know, just basically trying to mimic what they were doing, but in, you know, my own way. And it just started there as a kid, just writing and freestyling, battling. Yeah, that's when, you know, basically when it started, when I was a kid.
How do you feel that your style of music is unique to Miami or to the South?
It's unique because I was born in New Jersey, but I wasn't really raised in New Jersey. I was raised in Miami like practically all my life. I was there, I think, since I was like 2.5, and then ever since I've been living in Miami. So the style is different. You know, I have like that up north type of style as well, but I also have that down south type of style. And I just like mixing it and just fusing different styles and just different genres that I like and stuff that I like, and just mixing it up together and just creating my own thing.
We are murdering the beat.
Yeah, definitely. It's the Steez. Shit, I actually have a bunch of EPs. I've done like a bunch of like mixtapes throughout the years and like street albums, but I've never really put out like a big solid album. Everything's been like EPs. It's like the new demo of this age. You know what I mean? Back in the days, you used to cut a couple records and that was your demo. Now it's an EP, so you end up cutting a couple records, 3-4 records, you put them together, boom, you drop an EP. But yeah, I got 3 EPs, got a bunch of mixtapes like on the belt as well, and yeah, just dropping singles and shit like that. I think what's holding me back is it's just the audience.
Yeah.
I feel like my audience isn't big enough, so I'm just dropping these EPs, these singles, and just feeding them, you know, slowly until the name starts getting bigger. And then once I feel comfortable that everyone's listening, then I'll give everybody the album. Because right now I feel like I'm doing something, but I feel like I'm not fully heard. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want it to get slept on. I just don't want to be like, oh, I'm just dropping, just albums just for fun. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just drop the EPs, not drop so much money, because my stuff is independent. I'm not signed, so I invest my money in that. So, you can't be trying to cut fucking 20, 25 records, 30 records when you're on a, on a smaller budget. Unless you have a big budget. You got a big budget, you can end up doing these albums, but my budget's not there, but that's besides the point.
So what inspired you to start making music in the first place? Is there somebody around you that you knew that was making music, or you just like music so much you wanted to make it?
It was, I would say, influence from just everybody. You know what I mean? Family members, friends, neighbors. My uncles were really big into music. They used to listen to rock and they used to listen to hip hop. So, I got that fusion from them, listening to that type of music. My old man used to listen to a lot of jazz music, so I have that influence as well. But yeah, mainly it was just, people around me, whoever was around me that, at that time when I was a kid or really young, that was usually the music I was listening to. It could be disco, it could end up being some jazz, or it could end up being some like hip hop, some rock, some R&B, or just that 80s flavor that what is it? Shit. Damn, I forgot the name of the music. Oh, sorry.
So what was it like recording your first project, your first EP?
First EP? Yeah, definitely, I remember that. The EP, it was actually something that I was just putting together little by little, and it took me a while, because usually I had more access to the studio, and
We are murdering the
I
beat.
didn't have as much access, so the music was coming slower than faster, so it took a little while, but eventually I ended up just getting everything together and just putting it together. It was a cool process, you know what I mean? It took a couple years. I ain't gonna front and say that it.
By yourself, or you did it with you had somebody that helped you out?
Yeah, I had various people. I had my boy AG that he was doing some production. Miami Beat Wave producer that I work with, one of my close, basically one of my close best friends, does production. He participated on that shit as well, and just a couple friends. I had Homie G that came through. He'll end up dropping a verse. I had Hitman come through, drop a verse, and everybody just collaborating, just putting the stuff together. It took some time. It took, I would say, roughly maybe like year, 2 years to put it together. But the first one was 2016, the end of 2016, 17. That's when I first dropped the first EP. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, not too long ago. Like I've been doing it, but there was periods where I kind of like stopped, go, but I've always, like music's always been on my mind. It's always been there. It's always been like my main focus.
It seems like more recently you've become more passionate about it than you were younger.
Yeah. It's just life shit, man. You know what I mean? The ups and downs of life. I stopped making music just because there was certain things that wasn't coming together. You know what I mean? It was like hopeless feeling of like, yo, this shit isn't gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, I've been doing it for a long time and this hasn't been going the way that I wanted to go. So I kind of like stepped back for a little bit and kind of just started doing my thing. And, little by little, the music calls you, and it calls you back. And especially when you really have a passion for it, you're never gonna stop, you know what I mean? Like I could be an old man and if I could sing, I'm gonna continue to sing, you know what I mean? It's never gonna stop, it's in me, it's the passion.
So how did you meet
Homie G, that's a fucking funny story, man. Homie,
Say the truth, nigga.
It's a funny story. Homie, the first time I ever heard Homie was on this Miscellaneous tape, and it was just thrown around in the hood, you know what I mean? Like cats were cutting their demos and doing their stuff, but these dudes were putting out mixtapes. There was this one track It was with the Dark Side Thugs, and these dudes were fucking just tearing through the record, like just fucking spitting it fast and just killing the shit. And I was like, damn, yo, these niggas dope. So come to find out, I ended up talking to one of my homies. I was like, yo, have you heard these Dark Side Thugs? He's like, yeah, that's fucking Butter. That's Minion. And Butter and I used to go to high school together. He's one of the members of Bone Thugs and Dark Side Thugs. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, he was like, word? My bad. All right, I got a little lost. He was one of the members of the Dark Side Thugs, and I ended up hitting him up, talking to him like, yo,
murder in the beat.
Collaborate, let's work on some shit. And he was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's get together. And we finally ended up meeting. We ended up meeting up one day, and I ended up showing up at Homie's house. I've never met Homie. I've heard of him, but never really met him like personally. And since that day, we met, and like, it was like, yo, I've known this motherfucker for years. It's like one of those type of things, you know. I felt like I've known this dude for at least 10, fucking 15 years, and just the first hour of meeting him, you know what I mean? We just straight up clicked, and you know, we've just been brothers ever since. We still doing it. We pushing each other, you know, to this day.
So, Warlock, that is a unique name.
It's a sorcerer's name. It's a male witch. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that through the definition of it. But I actually got the name because I was really into like comic books when I was a kid. I was into DC comic books and Marvel and Image and all these comics. And there was this particular character called Warlock. He was like one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. And I always like identified myself like with him or some sort of way, because he was you know, he wasn't like he was like an evil dude when he ended up popping out in the scene, and then he eventually ended up becoming someone that was more positive and someone that wanted to help in the universe. You know, it's all comic book bullshit, but at the end of the day, it was something that really stuck out to me, and the name just really stuck out, and I felt it was like a strong name and as an artist name, and I just fuck it. Just let me take the name and let me run with it. So it is what it is, Warlock.
So
what's where do you see your music career going? Where would you like your music career to go in the next 5 years? Where do you see that?
That's an interesting question. Just not like every other artist, but to be more solidified, to be more out there. You know, the music to be much bigger audience. You know, basically doing really big shows, traveling around the country, you know, putting out albums, and, you know, doing it independent. I think that the independent side is just the best way to go, because the industry, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna take their percent, they're gonna take a big percent. And I've been doing it for a long time, and I feel like I shouldn't be giving up that percent, you know what I mean? So, you know, independently, I see myself doing it big, just traveling the world and getting my audience and building my name. And that's it.
So you have a track with Project Pat. Can you talk about that?
Oh shit, yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, it's crazy because Project Pat was always someone like really, he was like that, like an idol, you know? It was like a big influence in my high school days, and I always thought that Project Pat was a shit, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, I was like, yo, this dude's fucking wild. So I ended up opening up for him last year, like at the end of the year, and I ended up linking up with him. We talked, we chopped it up. I got his number. He ended up talking back and forth, and we talked. He says, yo, I fuck with your shit. Let's make something. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So I made a track with Miami Beat Wave. He did the production. We got together. We sat down. We, you know, picked out some samples or picked out some noises and sounds that we could put together. And he put everything together. We sent it out to him, and basically it just ended up coming together. And the track's fire. Like, yo, it's just a dope track, and it's crazy to actually think that I could even jump on a track with this type of artist, because I've never would have imagined in a million years that I would be rapping on a track with Project Pat. So it's special, you know what I mean? To me, it's a special track. You know, shout out to Project Pat. Shout out to the 3-6 Mafia and everybody, you know what I mean, that's repping.
Would you say that's your biggest artist you've worked with so far?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I know a couple famous artists, you know, not to brag or anything, but I've never used my resources to, you know, try to use them to like, yo, let's work on a track. It's always been out out of love. Like, yo, we're gonna do something, let's do it, you know what I mean? Like, let's do it together. It's not like this thing where I'm asking, you know, constantly asking artists, oh, jump on my shit, this and that. It's like a mutual respect and mutual thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, I know a couple cats. I know M1 from Dead Prez. You know, I know it's Recognize and Burn Biz from Mayday. A couple cats that their name is out there and stuff. And yeah, man, they're dope. And I would say Project Pat, yeah, basically he's the top. Yeah, he's the top one. He's the top one that I've worked with. Last show I did was actually a couple months ago with King Guala, one of the members of Chico Mob. He was doing a show. I think he was actually opening up for not sure if it was Project Pat or it was someone else. It was another performance that we were doing together, and I ended up performing with him. And I think the last time it was on a Project Pat boat. It was like a yacht party or whatever, and Project Pat came out. He ended up performing. We performed. You know, it was dope.
How does it feel being on stage? Feel like you're in the element, like it's where you're supposed to be?
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Like once you're up there, it's a different ball game. You know, you feel the energy, and you end up feeling that adrenaline rush of, you know what I mean, getting out your music and letting everybody hear what you got to say. So yeah, definitely. To me, it's a rush. You know, it feels like a drug. It feels like some sort of high. So it's basically, yeah, it's like a high to me. So yeah, fuck it. I love performing. Day-to-day life, shit, Monday through Friday, fucking grinding, working, you know, working a 9-to-5 job, you know, and after that, it's just music, basically going home, you know, rolling something up, smoking, you know, try to get some ideas, listen to some beats, you know, just start writing, and, you know, just putting my thoughts together and just the music process, you know what I mean, just listening to the music, getting nice and stoned, you know, like that's like my way of doing it. And yeah, right now I'm actually working on like 3 projects. Working on like a little small EP that not really, you know, like I'm probably gonna end up getting a publishing deal. I have something in the works. I'm not, you know, trying to talk too much about it, but I have something in the works where I think a publishing deal is there on the on the table. And I'm gonna end up dropping maybe like 3 tracks, a single, you know, with them, and 3-track EP, and just put that out. And I got the Chico Mob album coming out. It's the collective group of all these Miami cats coming together. And then I'm gonna end up having like another EP at the end of the year and just putting that out. Yeah, I would say like 3 solid projects this year, I would say, that I'll be popping out. Yeah. Music video, definitely. I think the next music video, I think it's gonna be the Chico Mob track. This is a track that we've been working on. Really strong, very strong track. I think that's the next music video that we're gonna end up popping out.
Now, as far as your places that you can be checked out at, where like your tag places?
Yeah, WARLOK 1982. You know, that's my Twitter name, Instagram. I spell it different. I take out the C. It's WARLOK 1982. I got a SoundCloud that you could go on to. You could go on to iTunes, Spotify. You'll find me on every single music platform that's out there. You know, like for an underground cat that's been doing it for years, I finally feel like I've gotten it right. So I know more or less what I'm doing now.
That's good. Finally on track.
Yeah, definitely.
Making a lot of moves. Got a lot of things going on this year. That's always great to hear.
Definitely, my brother.
Is there any closing statements you would like to make for the camera, sir?
Shout out to you guys, man, for having me here. You know, shout out to the group Chico Mob. Shout out to Homie G, Gil Graff, Miami Beat Wave, King Guala, Salazar Tawaquero. Yeah, basically, you know, shout out to everyone. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, harder than a drug dealer. You can call us thug killers, mug fillers, blood spillers. You can get it in the cut, nigga. Buck niggas, fuck niggas, throw them in the trunk, nigga.